Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be installing this TRD-style knockoff skid plate. Now you can use this video as a visual. If you are installing the TRD one, it's going to install quite the same as this one, or several other ones that are shaped like this. They all install about the same. I got this one off of Amazon and it had really good reviews. I was a little skeptical on the quality and the thickness and everything. It definitely is aluminum. It's aluminum and it looks like it's powder coated or has some kind of a thick, it's not paint, it's some kind of a thick coating on it. And as you can tell, it is 1/4 inch. I had my doubts, but it's actually 1/4 inch aluminum. Thing is pretty solid and pretty heavy. Came well packaged, I mean well enough for what it is. Has some rough instructions here on how to assemble it and install it, where to put the locking nuts and that kind of stuff. Shows you where all those go, the spacers. It's got the little access door that goes right there, so you no longer have to remove your skid plate to change your oil like you do with the factory one, which is a giant pain in the butt. Now all you got to do is take this guy off. You've got that big access hole to get your oil filter out, place your oil, and then you put it back on and you can leave the skid plate in place. And of course it comes with all the hardware, bolts, spacers, nuts, everything to put it on. So follow along as I get this thing put on. It's my first time putting one of these on a Sequoia, so if I run into any trouble or mistakes, I'll try to show you what that is so that you can learn from my mistakes here. Here's all the hardware. I've got it all laid out, and you want to compare it against the chart at the bottom. Make sure you've got all of your hardware. All right, we're under the truck now. First thing you want to do is take off your tie down, your loops, your tow hooks. There's one on that side, and there is one on this side. Let me zoom out. You got two 17mm head bolts that hold them in. This one here and this one right here. Take those out of each one and take those down. Now you want to take one of the bolts for each of them and put it into the front hole. This front one being in is going to be used to guide the skid plate into place. Oh, I need two hands. Can't see. Old man eyes. You don't need to make it tight or anything. Just barely thread it in there. That's it. So here's where I think everything goes. You got these two short M8 bolts with the thin washers and the little spacers. Over here and over here, you've got the slightly longer M8 bolts with the spacer there, and I put a washer on the neck. In the middle, you've got that guy along with the Allen head bolt. And in the very far back, you've got these long M10s with a washer on the neck. And the only two spacers that are left are these guys. I think these go back there as well. Here's the parts we've got left. You got the nuts. You've got these little angled spacers, which are kind of like shims, but they're angled spacers. You've got these little guys, these retainers. You've got two M10s and then 5 M8s, which to me means the M10s go there, and the M8s go here, 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 and here. Then you've got these 4 little Allen head ones. These are the ones that go on the plate that goes over the oil filter, so we'll leave those off for now. Now, let me show you what these guys are for. They are to hold the bolts in place so that you're not struggling with it, trying to line bolts up and everything from the bottom side. So put your washer on there, put your bolt through the hole, and this guy, put the dome side upwards like that, and push it onto the bolt. Like, just wiggle it. There you go. Just like that. That way, the bolt stays in place as you're aligning this guy up into the spot it's supposed to go to. Let's do this one. Right there. We'll put this over it. All right. And this goes here. This goes here. All right. turn this around and we'll do this one. Let's get the bolt through the hole. Right there. Gonna put this. Got that retainer on there. Oops, wrong spacer. There it is. That spacer goes on. Let's go do that side. Now, I've got those on. On these back bolts, there's no threads on the majority of these bolts. So what I'm gonna do is put the spacer on first. And yeah, that works out well. And then I'll put the retainer on top of the spacer. Now, let's see where we put these guys. And those are gonna be for the bolts that are labeled D, which are the ones in the back, which are these two right here. So, if this face goes downwards, that goes on the spacer, like so, like that, and they face with the angled edges towards the middle of the car. So we're gonna do this one as well. Goes on, just like that. Last but not least, we've got our long one, along with this guy. Now this block here, so that's the front, that's the back. I don't think it goes this way because these tabs look like they are meant to center this. So if you put it this way, those end up right on the edges of that to center it. And the bolt hole ends up in the middle of that. So I'm gonna take this guy right here, feed it up through the bottom, and then at the top, right there, we are going to install this retainer. Now, I do have these two flange nuts, and they are M10s. So the only place they can go is on these two. I'm guessing they go on the frame side towards the back of the truck. Now what I'm gonna do is slide this guy underneath there, and I'm gonna use those two front bolts for the tow hooks that I left in place. I think they go right here. So I'm gonna slide this one and that hole right there onto those bolts to get it lined up at least. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start at the front, those two right there, those two right there, that one, and then very finally these two at the very end. I'm gonna get just a couple threads in. You don't wanna tighten any of these bolts because there's tons of room for misalignment, and as long as you do just a little bit on each one, and then go back and tighten it, you'll have a much easier time getting everything aligned. If you tighten one of them, then go back and try to get the other ones on, you're gonna have a heck of a time. So let me show you what we did. Got my helper down here. All right, so these are on the hooks right there and on that side. And we needed some support in the back, so we just stuck a cooler underneath it. Line up perfect. These two back bolts I had to take out because they were getting in the way. So we've got those out right now. And one by one, we started up here with this one, and we put the impact in reverse, or if you're using a ratchet, put it in reverse just to get it to back out a little bit. And as we reversed it out, it popped in and lined up with the hole. Then we screwed it in for about 2 threads. Did the same with this one. Then this guy right here, and you can see right above it, right there. You can peek up there, make sure the holes are lining up. Then we did this guy over here. You can see none of them are tight. They're just in by a couple threads. And then finally this one. And they all went in super easy. All I did is reverse them out a little bit. And as you're reversing them, the bolt just kind of wiggles around in there, right? And it'll find the hole. And then as soon as it does, then you'll turn it clockwise to screw it in by a couple threads. So we've got all of these front ones threaded in, and the back ones are not. So next thing we're gonna do is move this cooler, our fancy jack right there, and get those back ones at least lined up with the hole, and then put those flange nuts on the back side and get those threads started. All right, let me describe how the back went together. The washer does not go on the bottom, so the bolt goes through the bottom without a washer. It goes through the frame, then that big tubular spacer goes down in over the bolt. Then you've got this angled piece right there. Then you've got the washer. Then you've got the flange nut. So get those started. Just get them hand tight. Now that we've got everything
threaded, started, lined up, I'm gonna go back through, starting at the front and start tightening things down. I almost forgot. Take that bolt out for the tow hook on each side, put the tow hook back on, and put the bolts through. I got them just barely threaded on right now, so I'm gonna tighten those down as well. That is what this massive thing looks like. And there is the oil filter housing. See it right there? Nice access hole, plenty of space to get in there. And that way, you never have to take your skid plate off to get to it. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and put this on with the 4 included Allen screws. My old butt's a little tired, so my helper Aiden's gonna do it here. You got it, man?
Yeah. Maybe not.
Little by little. You gotta get the threads lined up. Good job. You got one more after that?
Yep.
All right. There you go. Yep, you got that one too. You learn good. Don't ever tighten them until you got them all started, right?
Mm-hmm.
No. I think you got it angled wrong. It doesn't go straight up, it goes at an angle. You okay?
Mm-hmm.
Did it get in your eye?
No.
Careful. Maybe we should have you wear goggles.
Oh.
All right, then you go around and tighten them. Good job, man. Almost done. All right, that guy is in. Last part is these 3 tabs right here, right there, and right here. Line them up with those holes and use these little, where are they? These little push pins that came with the kit. And that's all that holds them in, which is kind of ridiculous. Wish there was a bolt or something with some threads.
It's 2025.
2025, yeah. Everything clips together, right?
Yep.
All right, here you go. There's that one. That's it?
Yeah.
That really seems super dinky. I mean, I guess that's how it is from the factory too, right? Okay. Yeah. Toyota, I would like to put in a request for you never to do that again on a bumper. But yeah, okay. So there we go. This thing is crazy solid and well worth the money. And, you know, I'd love to have a little TRD logo right there, but this is really no different than the TRD one. Same thickness material, and it's just as good a quality. I might even get like a red TRD decal to stick there. I know that's cheesy, but you know what? Maybe we'll get one. Well, there you are. That's how you install a skid plate on a Toyota Sequoia. That same process applies whether you're using the TRD skid plate or this one that I put on. And again, I'll put the link down in the description for the one I purchased, and I'll put the link down in the description for the TRD one as well if you want to pay a little more and get the OEM one. If you want to support the channel, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. In the meantime, I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.